started recording. Okay, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yep, one. Okay. So before we get into the session, any questions from the previous session? Any questions on any of these palettes that we have already used?
So are there, I did not read through the tutorial yet, but are there samples there too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
There.
let me quickly show you guys. Let's go to welcome. And I should see samples. And then when you click on a sample, for example, let's do hello text. No, not this, that's too much. Yeah, let's do something. Hello Workday Web Services sample. And just click on it. It automatically creates you an assembly. So I can just click next, finish. So it will open a assembly for you here. So you can open that assembly. And you can see this is the sample that Workday created. And then you have steps on each thing you can go through with the sample. So you can use this help pages to open it and open the sample in the editor. Once you have it, you can go through the entire sample and you can read through the code.
So one can do a save as and go from there too, right?
Yeah, you can. You already have this. You can just make changes, deploy it, and run it through.
Good.
Okay. So let's get back to our thing. So yesterday we did not see aggregators, right? So I did a little homework on it, and yeah, how do we use aggregators? It's simply so currently we have two routes here, and we want to merge. I mean, you literally don't need this route as well. So you have a write component. Let me remove this route. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So I'm going to remove this route. Just put it right here, and then okay, this route is going somewhere else now. So I have the write component, which is writing me a message builder. What I'll do is instead of doing it like this, I'll do a comma. So I'm creating a comma separated file right now. Okay. So I have my message saying employee ID, comma, job title, comma, active status, right? And then I'm connecting my, I think, mediation to my message. And then now I'm looking for aggregation because I created a message for each record out of the splitter. Now I'm trying to aggregate them. So let me quickly pick aggregator. So within the strategist, right? So we're trying to create a file. So all we are trying to do is concatenate or correlate multiple messages. So we're going to use create message content correlator. So this is going to merge all the messages together. And then I want to use the batch strategy here. So within this batch strategy, right, if you have a batch size, I say if you have 100 records or something, you can give a batch size there. But if you want to do all records basically, right? When you do -1, what -1 actually does is it will set the batch size. It will set the batch size to -1, which disables the batching, and the batch will be closed based on the last message that you got from the splitter. So splitter and aggregator, they both communicate to each other in the sense, right? So when you say batch size -1, what you're saying is, okay, I don't want it to be batched based on size, but whenever your splitter has the last message, then I'm going to batch it. Okay? That's what it's going to do. So let's see. It's going to connect it. And within the content, right, you have your header text. Let me enter my header, employee ID, comma, job title, comma, status. And I want to give a line feed as a separator, right? So I'll do okay. So that's my separator. So I'm going to use a separator for each line. And I don't need a footer, so I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'll put a store after my aggregator. I think mediation. Store. This title is output.txt. Okay. And I'm going to have an error. Why? So remove this. Save. Okay. I'm going to deploy my code. Go to my tenant. Integration launch. Okay. So this launch parameter. Now I'm waiting for the second file to be created. Okay. 2 output files. That's it, completed. So I have my output.txt, which if I put in my notepad, it should basically correlate all my records, right? So based on a message, it got my first record, added a line feed, then it inputted my second record, and that's how you basically use aggregators. And also, right? So currently on your aggregator settings, if you see force batch on last message, it is set to true. So this flag controls whether when are we gonna force the batch to complete, or when are we gonna trigger this aggregator to correlate all the records, right? So currently this is defaulted to true. So what this means is whenever the last message is given by the splitter, aggregator will think, or it will basically give also a flag for aggregator, so aggregator will correlate the batch after the last message of the splitter. But if you don't want to force it based on the splitter, but if you can mark it as false, and you want to force it based on a flag that you enter. So for example, you don't have splitters and you want to merge multiple messages. You put everything into aggregator, and then once your code is finished, you can say a flag. You can add a flag. For example, let's do something with an error handler like that. So I'm gonna remove this put integration message. Within this error, I'm gonna put a async mediation. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write an error message. And error message would say employee ID employee ID, comma, text error, comma, I need my error message. So I want a context dot error message. So I have all my 3 error parameters here. So I have my props of employee ID, comma, I'm saying that it's an error, and then I have an error message, whatever the error message that it's going to display. Now let's put an enable. Let's put an enable here. Enable in between this, and let's say props of active status equal to 1. Okay, so if I do this, if this condition is true, then it will pass through, otherwise it will error out. Okay. This always confuses me. Active. Okay. Now after this, I want to put an aggregator. I want to route this error messages to an aggregator, so I don't print or upload each error. So I'm going to put an aggregator here, similar to what we did on the top. Okay. And I'm going to use a file correlator, same thing, message correlator. I'm going to use batch sizing, set my batch to -1. I don't want it as batch, but I want it to be separated by a line feed. And the header text still contains employee. Error message. Then I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm not going to connect it directly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a different assembly. So I can use a local out and pass a parameter for this to be true. So I'm going to use a local out. And I'm going to use a local in here. Something like that. Plus my local out will be pointing to my local in. Let's connect these two. Put an async, and I want to store it. Log.csv. Do that, and then I do have a header, right? The only thing I'm saying now is I don't want to force the batch on last message. I'm gonna, I mean, in this case, it's just one error message, right? So if I even do force batch on last message, it will work. But if you have multiple assemblies and you want to make sure that you are gonna print error log at the end of your assembly, so this is how you do. So you want to force batch when you have to give a evaluate condition here. So what I'll do is within this assembly, once my call to protein this is complete, I'll add another local out here. And then call another aggregator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link this local out to the local in on our aggregator. So this way, once this is, in the sense, this entire subassembly, once this is complete, it will again go to the next step, and the next step is nothing but your error log or your error log aggregator, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass a parameter here, saying select parameter, no, create parameter. This way, this way. Okay, let's see. I'm going to give it a name called error log, and I'm going to make this true. Okay. And I'm going to use that here. Drops off error log. Okay. Let me deploy it. Let's just quickly test. Okay. I have my error log, but I did not have my right file. But let's see our error log. What it's saying. Okay. Okay. I need to adjust the header a little bit, but otherwise we got an employee. I think this should be the other way around. Status equal to 0. I'm getting 1 and 0. Yeah. Only reason is I don't want every employee to error out. We only want certain people to, inactives to come in the error and actives to get in the output file. I could have fixed the header. Let me fix this header meanwhile. So what I did is in this header, I just inputted the header message, right? But also I have to add line feed with the header. Otherwise, now header also has a line feed. It submits. Did I deploy? Deploy. Okay, why is Camel not working? Active status. I'm making sure my active status, the props is right. Copy and paste it. Okay. Why am I not getting? Oh, actually, the other way is right. You know what? I messed it up. So this is actually correct. Equal to 1 is correct. It gives the right output. The thing is, I'm guessing our last message, right? Whatever is coming out in this is an inactive guide. So what happened is it went through this error log and it did not flow through our regular assembly here. So which is the case, it completely errored out. I'm not getting, but if that is the case, I have my employee coming question from Vivek. Splitter is only sending inactive, but we don't have any filter on our report unless someone added it recently. Splitter is not sending inactives. Yeah, we also have actives. Run. Yeah, we also have actives. I mean, somehow I'm guessing my logic there is going bad. Let's see how many we had. Okay, so we have around 24 errors. Oh, what is this? 1. How do we debug it, right? It's a good scenario. I have my logs enabled in this integration. I have a log here, and this log is sending me all these values. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open my server log, and I'm going to put it in my notepad and then see which message is causing the issue. Those are good. Those are good. So this is my employee, and I'm getting first employee. Second went through. So everybody's going through, except you don't find the employees that are in the log in your server log. You don't find them because in the order of events, right? I'm filtering my inactives here, and then I'm logging the actives. So they are going to this step. So all these guys are in this step. So with it there, unless my last record failed. This is my last record. Report. Stop listening. 21,502. That's my last record. So my last record active status equal to 1. So this went through. And then somehow it did not create a file for me. We need to add logic subroutes for active employee. I mean, active employees are going after this part. So active employees are in the log. So that means they're passing this validation. But active employees, the file is not getting created. So somehow in this area, it's not getting aggregation flag is not turning on or something is not turning on. Let me do one thing. Let me add a couple of filters on our report. Let's get only 2 or 3 employees in our report, and then let's see. If that is also causing issues, then we can go into debug mode. Because I don't want to run debug for all the 500 employees. Employee ID, I'm going to give an active and inactive. Okay. Who do I have? I have this guy as active. What? Seriously? Nice work there. I have this guy as active. Another person from my log file that is inactive. Okay. But on my report, I should only see 3. Then who is this fourth guy? Oh,
He's also with the same employee ID, 2108.
yeah. I think how is that possible? One is a contractor account and other one is an employee account. Okay. I think that's fine. Let's just see if that is even causing our issue. Let's just put this in our debug mode. I'm going to put a toggle assembly here, deploy. My past one is an error and now it goes this route. But it has to check for the splitter again. So, okay. Just skipping through the initial assembly. You don't want there. Okay, I'm calling our report. Report call is successful. So it got just 3 employees. So the first employee is going through. First employee is inactive, so he should go through the next step. That's good. That's good. It did pass all right. Went to aggregator, and he has to come back to splitter. Second employee is inactive, right? Active status equal to 0. It should go to error. Good. Next, it should write the error message, and then it will call our subroutine that calls our aggregator, error log aggregator, and then it goes back to splitter. Good. Next, next, next. It goes back to splitter. Checks. Oh, this is our fourth guy. Okay, we have 4 records. That's fine. It's good actually. Now it is at my aggregator, right? Okay. step back, it came to splitter. So it's not crossing this aggregator. That's what's happening. Okay, got it. So what's happening is once it gets to splitter, it is going into our next assembly. It's not checking for the aggregator like it did before. Because there are multiple aggregators here, that's why the reason is. We're gonna do one thing. Let's put this aggregator also in a different subassembly. So what we'll do is we'll do a local out here, and then we'll do a local in here. Let's connect this local out to the local in. Common. Put in 0. We have this connected. I want another local out here, which is saying my aggregator to correlate everything. And this one is going to connect to same subroutine 0. And this is going to pass a parameter. So I'm going to add a parameter here saying create file, and then the value equal to true. And I'm going to do is okay, this is what's happening, guys. So I have, I don't know, maybe when I was telling you what the last message is, I accidentally set this to false. So that's the reason that aggregator is not even kicked off. So force batch on last message, it knows the splitter is giving it last message, but it did not have this force batch when. So if this is true, I'm like 90%, 100% sure it should aggregate. So let's try that. Let's not waste of time here. Okay. That's the fat finger there. Okay, now I have to set this back to true. Yes, it is true. Apply to workday. Let's just run it. That's my confidence that I'm not debugging it. Let's see. Okay, it worked. It should work. Why not? Okay, so don't consider that. So you have your output.txt, which has your active employees. And this one should be a line field. Oh, mind. Okay, and you have your error log.csv, which has your, let's make out inactive employee. And there is another error message here. Yeah, there is some random error message. I don't know what that means. Fine. No, I don't know what that error message is. It looks like it's a file name issue, something. It's not bother about it. So clear. So we used an aggregator here to correlate all our active employees. And in our error file, what we created is we created our inactive employees. So this is a simple use case, right? if you have any errors, you basically send it out to an error log, and then you wait it until your last splitter or last program, last assembly is complete. And then all you do is you call that aggregator again from the assembly. I call it, this one is the main assembly because this is doing the step-by-step, right? So you can call this one main assembly. So at the end of your main assembly, what you do is you pass a parameter that is equal to true, and you use that parameter in your post batch one. Okay. Questions? Okay, no questions. Cool. Okay, we have seen how to aggregate files, how to create error logs, how to aggregate error logs. We have seen local out, local in. So this is one use case of local out. That's where you can call the same assembly multiple times and pass some parameters in it as well. Anybody has a question? Someone's off mute. Okay, cool. Let's get to we thought we'll go to the file, right? We're going to retrieve a file. Before doing that, let's actually focus on APIs. Let's work on change job API, and then we can use the input file to do that. So that will be a XMPP all along, right? So APIs. Go to Google, the search Workday APIs. You get the API documentation, public web service API directory, and you find all your APIs here. So when I say here, this is the only documentation that Workday provides for your API call. So what I'm looking for is now a change job. Typically, I would do a hire employee, but Dhanush do not hire employees into the tenant, so or do not create users. So I'm doing a change job instead. Okay, so change job should be in my staffing or human resource. I think staffing. Oh, that's my staffing here. That's my functional area. Staffing. I'm opening it in a new tab, and I should see change job. So change job. Perform a change job on an employee or a contingent worker uses the change job business process. The type of changes include transfer or motion, demotion. You all know what change job is, so let's not go in detail. So within here you have version, so you can see versions. Yeah, when you click on the service directory, actually, if you click on v92.2, this is all 92. If you want to click on check the different versions, maybe if you want to use the previous version or if you want to use the latest version, go to version directory and then pick the version you want. The latest is v29.2. We should get Workday v30 in maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm still in v29.2. I'm going to go to staffing and change up. So you have your request and you have your possible response. So I can click on it, XML, and then it will show me what my SOAP API request would look like. Right? The format and everything is should be like this. All you do is you put your respective values within the XML tags, or I mean, it's like any regular API. You have your SOAP API, you have a request format. You just put your values in the request format, right? And then when you read through this API documentation, right? So for example, I have a lot of parameters here. I have a lot of fields here. First one is version. Okay, version, it's taking a value of string. And if I see version is taking a value of string and the cardinality is 0 to 1. So how do you read cardinal? Is it requires 0 is it's like it's optional. I mean, it can have its value. It cannot have any value, or it should only have one value. It can't have more than one value. My version can be 29.2, or I can remove a version, but I can't give multiple versions. Similar to business process parameters, I only have to pass either not pass them or just pass one. Change of data, this entire section is one-to-one. So you have to have it. It's a required section, and you can only do it one time. If you say you have something called 0 to many, so exceptions response data. So this section of your API call, you can have you don't need to have it, so you can remove it if you're not using that section in your API call, or if you want to add multiple sections of the same element, you can also do it. Similar way, you can read through all this. So business process attachment data, 0 to many. So you don't need to have a business process attachment data section, but if you want to have it, and if you want to have multiple business process attachments, then you can just duplicate the child elements to a multiple level. Okay. Similar to reading the same XML, you have when you open it in your Chrome, you'll also see that this entire tag is optional. So my business process parameters, I close it. This entire is optional. So I can remove it if I'm not passing any business process parameters, right? But if I pass it, there are some required fields within this, right? So if I'm going to pass it, there is a 0 or more repetitions. So I can use a multiple worker reference, or I can pass one worker reference. Where I should see change of data that is required. Yeah. If you see anything optional, it typically means you don't need it, right? Unless until you have validations put on your UI, you don't need it. So I'm going to open the same web service in our Studio. In Studio, we have something called Web Service Tester. You can also use SOAP UI. SOAP UI is also your web service tester. You can use SOAP UI, enter your credentials there, and look at your API, format it, and call Workday with that API and see if it works or not. But typically, most of us always use Workday Web Service Tester. So you go to your quick access, click on Schema Explorer. You add Workday latest web services, go get the WSDL. I'm in GMS implementation. I'm looking for staffing. Okay, and then within staffing, currently I'm in version 30 because this GMS implementation is preview. That's my latest version. I go to my change job. This is my request message. I want my request message, my entire request message body. So I'm gonna get it in my web service tester. Open SOAP wrap request and web service tester. I'm gonna minimize this. So this is my entire API call. So if you notice, let me go back to the browser. So I'm going to minimize some sections. I want change of worker reference, position, change of detail. So within change of, right, you also have your proposed compensation as a sub-process. So when you're initiating change job, if you want to give it compensation, you can include this proposed compensation sub-process. So it automatically, you can also put your salary details and all things there. And you have your request one-time payment if you want to do it. And it's also optional, right? So only if you want it, you can include that section. Stock data, change organization sub-process, assign pay group sub-process. So these are all specific business process, but you are initiating as part of your change job. They are part of change job as a sub-process. Review payroll interface, assign matrix organizations, change personal information, maintain employee contracts, assign organization roles, assign superior organization. Wow, superior organizations. Switch primary job, update academic, or okay, costing allocations. So these are all the sub processes that you can initiate as part of your change job. Pretty much similar to your hire. Your hire also will have most of the sub process. They might have hire might have more than these. Hire might have your edit other IDs because you want to change, or hire might have a government ID sub process. Because as part of hire, you want to change employees' IDs. Hire also will have employee name or personal information tag itself, so you can, as part of hire, you do that as well. So just go through the hire API also, but we'll use the same job for now. Okay. So I'm not going to change anything. The way I work with, the way I learned is actually I'm going to just click run, send this request, and let Workday give me a response. And let's see what the response looks like. So Workday is basically saying I have a validation error occur, invalid ID value ABCDEF for the value ID type, contingent worker ID. So when you look at your request, so you have your change job, you have your version that you already set. I'm saying autocomplete the business process parameter. I'm saying autocomplete equal to true. That means do not go for any approval steps. If you have any autocomplete as false, it will wait for any approval steps or any action steps that are needed by the business user. Okay. Run now is always true. Comment, you can put any random text. Worker reference. Contingent worker ID equal to ABCDEF. So this worker reference is for the business process parameters. So it's basically who. I mean, I know the integration is running this. I'm doing this upload to the tenant, but who do you want these comments to be added as? Right? You can give a worker ID, so a worker ID can add. As of that worker ID, integration will add comments. But I'm going to remove it. I don't need any worker reference in my business process. Business process attachment data, right? So I can give an attachment. I can give a file name, attachment description, and then I can give a document ID, and then I have to give a base64 formatted file. Right? If I have an attachment, I'll do this. Otherwise, I'll just remove the entire tag. You have to make sure you are making sure that you are only removing the particular tag, not anything extra. But if you accidentally remove a closing tag that you're supposed not to remove it, it will be hard to find it back. I mean, you can't really trace back this entire API call. Just make sure whenever you're removing, I'm in business process attachment data. And I know, let's see if it's optional in the first place. Business process attachment data. Okay. Where is this? Business process attachment data is 0 to 1. So it is attachment. It's optional, right? So I can remove it, and Workday will not bark at me. So delete. Okay. Now I'm gonna just run it again. I'm just running it again because I don't want any formatting errors. For example, if I remove this comment data, right? Currently, I have a different error here saying it's an invalid type or something. But if I accidentally remove this comment data, and if I run it, it will give me the SOAP message error. See the down? SOAP message is not well formatted, right? So in certain scenarios, I can actually, which will help me a lot. Otherwise, if I remove so much stuff and then run it, and then if I'm missing some tag, it's hard to trace back. That's why I keep running it. And now you are into the change job data. So I need an employee ID. Let's go get one. Two 1490. Delta Jackson Peterson. Okay. So let's use this guy. So I'm going to put this employee here. And then position reference. So first check whether it's a required field or not. Let's go back to our documentation, and let's go to the job data, change job data, worker reference, 1-to-1, position reference, it's not required. Current job of the worker that is in will be targeted by the staffing change. If left blank, the current job of the worker he's occupying will be used. If the processing user has access to only a single job for a worker, if the worker has more than one job, then the processing user has access to. Right? Okay. Then this field must be entered to indicate which job to change. So what basically is saying is, so if you can give a value, you can give a position reference here. You can give a position ID, but if you leave it blank, if the worker is only having one position, then Workday automatically considers that we are changing that position, right? Worker sitting in that position. But if the worker has multiple positions, then you might have to reference what position you are applying the change job on. You're applying on the worker, but which position you are changing this job on, right? If I want to give this position ID, right? So I go back to my tenant, find this position ID. This is my position. Okay, position, and you should not give the position name as its ID. ID is your integration IDs. You go to the actions, integration IDs, view IDs, and this is the worker's position ID. You guys already have seen the inbound EIDs, right? Yeah, same thing. You're using the same API, but instead of doing it in a fancy Excel, you are doing it on your XML, the core thing. And what effective date you want the change to be? 228, let's leave it today. Okay. Reason reference. Let's go back to our documentation. Effective date, access the date, change of detailed data. What is that? Okay, change of detailed data. Let's go to the change of detailed data. Reason reference is required. So Workday is needing a reason. Okay. So I have my change of subcategory ID. I need a reason reference. So how do I get it is, there is a task in Workday called integration IDs. And what do I search for? Change of reason. No. Change of subcategory ID, right? So we have our change of subcategory. Okay. So these are all our reasons. Instance, data change, something, promotion. Let's give him the promotion. So what will be your ID? So you have your event classification subcategory ID and change of subcategory ID, right? To pick. But you are referencing a type of change of subcategory ID. So you have to pick the change of subcategory ID, not the event. Okay. Organization reference ID. Let's see. Is this required? It's 0 to 1. If none is set, we'll default to the current supervisory organization. It's like we are giving him promotion within the same organization. We're doing a change up. It's still fine. Let's live with that. Otherwise, I have to create some positions for the new guy. So I'm going to remove it. I don't need it. Delete. Headcount reference also, I don't need it. Job overlap true. Technically, I don't need it, right? Yeah, this is not needed. Position, proposed position reference is not needed. Reference to the proposed position restriction for the worker will be put in valid only when proposed supervisor organization is position management. For transfers, promotions, or demotions, this is valid only if the headcount is not being moved. If no value is sent in this, the existing value will be used. Okay. It's not, let's remove this. Let's just change the employee's compensation within this change of give him a promotion, that's it. And some title information and other stuff, employee type. Employee type reference 0 to 1. Okay, and now I'm back to my job details. Job profile reference. Where is it? Obviously, profile. Yeah, job details data. Okay, this is where I am. Okay, this is also 0 to 1. Let me just quickly run it. Let's see if we fail any validations until now. No, we did not fail. Okay, we need a job profile ID. So we need a new job profile ID for this worker. So let's go grab a new job profile ID. So he is in this job profile. I want to move him into a good job profile. So what I'm going to look is look for his what, right? The job family. There is no job family associated. Yes. See. This. What is the job profile ID for this? This ID is view ID is 37780. Okay. Position title, I want to change it to the new post. This is title. It's Batman. I'm changing his location. No, I'm not changing his location. I'm not changing his workspace. I'm not changing his position time type, work shift. I'm not changing any of this. I'm just removing it. Work hours, profile reference, no. Default hours, no. Schedule hours, no. Work time frequency, no. Pair type reference. Let me just run it through. I don't remove something that's required. Okay. Let's remove all this. We don't really need any of this. Okay. I mean, this is always required when you are starting with for the first time on an API. And then once you've finished one sample, right, then you can use it a lot. That will be easy. First time, this is always required. Employment contract ended, first day of work notified, new position ID. Nope. Contract details data. I'm not. This guy is not a contract. Worker document data. Okay, proposed compensation. I don't within the proposed compensation, right? I'm not adding a comment, or if I'm adding, I'm not giving a worker reference. I don't need a proposed attachment data. Right. So employee visibility date, let's do it like that. Proposed primary compensation basis. What is this? No, what is this? Compensation. Primary compensation basis. Total compensation change. I don't really need it. It's 0 to 1. So let me remove it. I think, but I don't understand. So I have to give him a new compensation package or compensation grade that he will be to. So let's see what this guy's compensation today. 47,000. Okay. He is in Oh, you guys created all these things. Nice. Okay. I want to move into a new plan, which is regular comp plan. Or what's the maximum here? Segment to 66,000. Okay, let's put him in 66,000. We'll use the same comp grade. Compensation grade 6-30. Compensation package, do a require compensation package indication ideas. Put just run it through. Hopefully there are no errors. Okay. International. Comp grade profile. So this guy is this comp profile. Yeah. I want to leave him in the same comp grade profile. You don't need to enter it, but I'm just putting it in there. Compensation step reference. Actually, I don't need it. Progression start date. I mean, you might want to check on each element that you're removing if it's required or not required. I kind of did it a couple of times, so just going on the pace. What's the next error? Okay, play plan data. I don't need it. I'm removing my. Oh, sorry. Actually, I need to do this. Yeah, I need to put pay plan because that's part of your proposed compensation. I don't need elements. I'm going to remove things that I don't need first. I don't need unit elements. I don't need bonus. I don't need merit. Oh, stock. Here. Okay, I'm going to remove the entire request one-time payment. I don't need all of it. Okay. Change organizations as well. So instead of removing, what I'll do is autocomplete equal to true. Okay. With your payroll interface of process not needed. You can change all this information. I am tired. This keeps on coming. While I'm removing this any questions, let's use the time. It's gonna take some time. You guys awake? Did I make everyone sleep?
We're here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is the big BP, and I mean you have to do this anyways.
Yeah, and it's lines and lines of code. So on my small laptop, I have to squint my eyes to see through that. My eyes are getting weaker. I'm not young anymore. So
Even my eyes, I'm like, this is after work.
I know you're coming right from work. You must be commuting. You must have commuted. I don't know how many hours. You're in the Bay Area, right?
An hour. Yeah, Bay Area. 1 hour is my commute.
1 hour is minimum there.
Yeah. That's it. Was there. Come on, no more additions to this speaker. It's already too much.
I think Bay Area's, I don't know. I've been into LA too, and traffic is bad there too. So,
Yeah. It's the same. I don't like California. That's why. I'm from Texas previously. So
I live in Dallas, by the way.
okay. San Antonio. I used
You
to
are?
work there.
Oh, that's nice. No, I actually came in Texas, then moved to Boston, then moved to California. Then I came back to Dallas because I like the life here. So I'm like, I'm going to move back. So last 19 years I've been here.
Nice. Texas. I mean, I used to walk from my office to my work.
Oh, that's
Now I'm
better.
doing a 1 hour commute.
San Antonio is a nice city.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully I removed everything. Just now this is small. I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna run it through. Hopefully I didn't remove anything that should not be removed. Okay, let's just organize this a little bit. Let's get started on our compensation. So I have pay plan data and unit salary plan data. And let's see what the difference between those two.
So this is the code you copied from the API, right? Or the integration?
This one?
The one on the left side, which you are editing in the WordPress Studio?
This one, I got it from the API.
Right.
This is the SOAP request. Left, pay, plan, data. Proposed base plate plan job assignment container. So this one, different element representing the unique instance of salary or hourly plan, amount of salary or hourly plan. Okay, I think we need to use this. So this replace to compensation plan ID. I need a comp plan ID. I'm gonna get back to my application IDs. Compensation plan. Why do I not see compensation plan ID? Compensation plan. Right. And what's my compensation plan ID for this guy? What is this on? He's on. So you guys created a plan. So what are the salary plans out there? View compensation plan. No? What is that? Just looking for the salary. Let's keep the salary. Whoever created this, this plan or this job profile and everything, do you guys limit anywhere that you have to enter a certain compensation plans for this worker? Did you guys notice anything like that? Oh, okay.
Is it like
So what I'm doing is I'm giving this employee a salary plan, but it might error out if its job profile has restrictions to only get certain plan types, right? If any position or any parent restrictions are there. I'm not sure because this is not a delivered plan. Just created it. I don't know if there is a link or not. So I mean, we'll try and see.
Krishna, I think there would be a link. I created it. So if you want anything similar, search with Del Tenton so that.
So where do you link it? I mean, where do you restrict it? Here, within the job profile?
Yeah.
Krishna, if the employee having a position management, then you have to use the grade and grade profiles. Or if he's on job management, then you have to use the salary plan compensation, I think.
Okay, so if I'm but still I can ask my, I mean, all I'm trying to do is if I have a salary plan for this worker within this compensation packages, I have to make sure that these compensation grade or grade profiles match, have a salary plan as possible options. So impact eligibility groups. I'm still keeping his grade and grade profile and everything same. I'm not changing it. Well, I'm changing his salary plan. Let us see. Let's try. Does the grade have any?
Or he will not have a salary plan. He will have only compensation grade, and then that's it. And on top of that, you'll select the salary range.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. But let's see. When you look at a worker, right, in his compensation, you still have his grade, company,
You will not see the
package and
salary
everything.
plan there.
But the compensation plan is this.
Yeah, so they manually assign the value for that.
Yeah, we are manually assigning it in the UI, right? We are adding a salary plan and then giving it a value.
Okay.
When you do a change job or something, right? Or hire employee in proposed compensation, you add a plan and then you add some amounts based upon it, 66,000 or 61,000 in this case.
Right.
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 Yeah, I'm trying to switch this plan into salary and change this to 66,000 USD. Whatever CAD it is. Okay. Frequency is annual. Expected end date. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna put it in comments for now. I don't know if this one's. Okay, fingers crossed. Run. Please check the violation of the record. Please check the enable actual end date tenant setup HCM flag before attempting to set the actual end date. Did I set up an actual end date? Okay. Yeah. I don't need this too. Okay. Let's run it again. The position organization assignment data is required when automatically calculate equal to true. Success. Yay. What I did is I just removed our assign orgs, request comp, and we removed all the sub processes, right? So I got a success. I can say because I got a vid, but not a validation error. We copied this vid. If you see in the tenant, in his job, let's see, confident enough that his compensation has to change to 66,000 and his compensation plan is changed to salary, right? And in his job, worker history, you should see a promotion because the reason is promotion change job initiated at 6:50 p.m. by me promotion. We left the same manager. We changed the job profile. Yeah, we did change the job profile to executive assistant. We gave him a new title called new boss, and it used to be Dell. We gave him a business title, Batman. Same location. Location did not change. Nothing else changed here. And then organizations. Hold on. Get something. Yeah, organizations did not change here. Compensation was changed. Total base pay used to be 47,000. Now I have it at 85 because my pay. I also changed compensation package. Did I? Did I change it? Okay. I think I picked a different comp package. Okay, I did change them. And then grade stayed the same. Grade profile. It was added. And then I had my 66,000 USD annual salary plan added. That's it. And then if you see the process, these are all marked as not required because we basically removed them from our API. And then proposed compensation is automatically complete by myself. And if you see, I have a comment here, right? That's the comment I included in my business process comment section. And what is this vid? This vid is nothing but your event. So if you go back to your tenant, I copied that vid, WID colon paste vid, and you should see his event. That's the vid that we give. So this is unique. You don't get more than that information from Workday. If you get that, that's success. If you get a validation error, then it's an error and you probably have to solve for it. Okay, questions?
So usually when other parties uses this public API, do we need to have a user ID and password in order to get into the system?
Yes. So currently, as I'm using Workday Web Service Tester, my security is already configured. But if I want, I can click Show here, which gives me the security header.
Okay.
That is where I pass my username and password is properly encoded. Okay.
So which role we need to use for this web services, not to is it a read only, or where do we set up that?
The security?
Yeah. It's an integration administrator is fine, or since if we give integration administrator, they can access anything, right? So we have to restrict only.
Yeah. Yep. So you're gonna create an ISU for them, not an employee account. You will create an ISU, integration system user. We talked about it some days before. We create an integration system user, and you create an integration system security group. Okay, once you have those group and user, you will assign that group to domain security policies. I'm not getting everything. Anyway, functional area, staffing, for example. Okay. No maintain security permissions. Okay, let's do I have an ISSC, I believe, so we'll use that. What? Your security. What happened to my security? Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Staffing. So right now I'm trying to do a change job, right? So staffing actions probably. Instead of going this way, what you should do is initially you have to use this view security for secureable item, the task that shows us what security you need. Change job. Change job, and if you scroll down, you should see change job web service. Change job web service task. Okay? And so right now, change job web service. Change job is not actually a domain; it's a business process. So you need actions for that business process. So right now, if I'm here, I do go to business process policy, edit, and then whoever can initiate this action, there is a web service option. So if I scroll down, change job web service. So I'll add that security group that only has one user, that is that user that you have given to that employee, right? To that vendor, and it will only have one security group, and you will add the security group here. So only that user can access change job, and he don't have access to any other business processes. And data level, right? If you want to update a compensation, so you have to go and look for within here if you want to change the business title, right? Example. And if you have view and modify access, it is for UI. It's for your reports and UI. So you can change the business title from the UI. But if you want to access it from a web service, I say edit permissions. Scroll down, integration permissions. I click add, give the security group that you want, as a admin or something. Yeah, in this case. And then give access to put. So put is nothing but updating your data. So if you don't have access to put, then he'll not be able to update business title. Yeah. But we'll also create an ISU and ISSC later once we create a complete end-to-end sample, and we'll use that. But typically, right, in this case, I usually, I have not seen most of the clients using SOAP APIs to update data from Workday. Usually, you'll get a flat file with all change jobs, or usually we'll get a flat file with all new hires, and you use the flat file, get into Studio, and load it. So you have seen we have hard coded everything here, right? So you might have a question, why am I doing it? That's just for this we want to make an API work. What we have to do next is we have to soft code this. We have to put an XSLT and tie this one into an XSLT, and then put values based on what you receive, not the hard coded values. Okay. Did that answer your question? No? Yeah. Kind of?
Yeah, Christian, thank you.
Any other questions?
I have
So,
a
yeah,
question related to the assignment, not this one. So I need 5 minutes of
okay.
your time after this class.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk in a minute. Any other questions, anyone? So if you guys don't have questions, what I want you to guys do is try this web service, try change job, and try it yourself. Just make sure you delete some things. Make sure you delete the appropriate things, put some values in there, and try to get a successful API call working. Tomorrow we'll use this API call in our studio to do a change job. We'll give an employee ID field from a flat file, and we'll get it into our studio and call this API and get it to the endpoint. Sounds good? Yeah, you have so many questions on this API once you start formatting it. So tomorrow also will probably take most of time with this API. Okay, if you guys don't have any questions on this, let's get to our assignment questions. You're saying something?
Krishna, can we please go to the tenant? I created an XSLT. The integration name is Del6. Del6.
Del6.
Yeah, so yeah, that's one. And, oh, not this one. This is fine. There is one more Del6 with the organization. Second one. The second one first.
This is this one. I think the first one.
Yeah. So
Okay.
here I created this XSLT, and so so my question is that the input for this XSLT is a Workday XML file, or is it simple XML file?
Depending on what you are expecting in your report. So have you seen the difference between the Workday XML and simple XML?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw WIDs are coming on to the Workday XML. So I want to provide the normal XML file. So how can I configure that normal XML file as an input for this?
Yep. So go to Actions, Enterprise Interface Edit, and then scroll down and Get Data. When you did a report, right? Go to Details. There is an alternate output format.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So,
That will be
yeah, when I was running this report, it's giving me only one row of output. So I was
okay.
But if I
But
use
in your Roxys, then it's giving you everything.
yes, that's true.
Sure.
That's
Okay.
true. So can you run it
Oh.
this? But no, I just want to see like, or maybe I'm stuck. The file name has that's okay, default. So, and I noticed that if I use a custom report transportation, there is no way for me to skip the columns. Like, as you mentioned in the assignment, we need to suppress certain columns. So I can't suppress it. I can only suppress only on the custom report. That's correct,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you need to remove it on the custom report.
Yeah.
See, you got only one record, but you got all the records. I think the only thing is you're missing the line feed.
Oh, okay. But I gave it in the template. If you look at the template, is
Let's
it
see.
one? Oh, in the down, oh, I'm using apply templates column. And if you look at their text,
Is that the right line feed? For each is there, and within the template, main template. No, this character is. Let's see. Let me add this line feed.
oh, that's the one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the CRLF. Let's get it from Google. Yeah. Line feed, character, XSLT. This one you missed an ampersand, I believe. Where is your template.xsl? Yeah, you missed an ampersand. It should be something like this.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Save it. Let's upload it back. Edit, accessibility, attachment, submission. L, click. Save, download, select files.
And for you asked me to create the document transformer also, so I have to do it through an integration system with the document transformer. Cool.
Okay, here you go. It looks good.
Can you
Great,
please scroll little side? I want to see the compensation changes where it has a minus symbol there. If a little come left side. It's not there. Yeah, here it is. Okay, yeah, it's coming good now this time. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Before, so for of document transformer.
Oh,
Sorry.
1 second. Why is it? I mean, why is it crossing? Oh, okay. It is starting from here. Okay, good. Okay. Can you? What's the format that we have talked? Okay, we talked in this format. Okay. Did I add commas in between my assignment?
Commas, I
In the
don't.
file?
In the file, you did not mention that.
See what's okay. Classroom.
Oh yeah. So you mean to say that format of amounts?
Yeah, format of amounts.
I think there is a one comma separator.
Okay, that's fine. Good. Yep.
So, and the only way of skipping an element in this document transmit, sorry, in XSLT is that if you look at the XSLT, for that particular tag, I just gave a blank template. If you look at in the XSLT for omitting.
Okay.
If you look at here, the template match equal to last compensation change and assign staffing organization. The template match equal to. So I'm not doing anything for them. Rest
Yeah. Just give blank values.
Yeah, blank values, and I'm not pushing them onto the file.
But does this have? They don't have. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So you said that do not include on the output file. So
Do not include in the output, but just give me the amounts. Yeah, you basically should. Can leave blank. I thought I should have given some fixed length here, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just used this report, so don't include this. Don't include this. Okay.
So that's the reason I put a blank template, so it will not push anything onto the file.
Yeah. Can you check some of this, right? There, I mean, fixed width, right? So something is missing here, like a couple of spaces are missing or something is missing. It's creating a wrong format somewhere here, which is once in, and you see that and see what's happening. Maybe a value that has to come is not coming. So it's null, and then this guy is pushing a little bit left, kind of a thing.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I will take a look at it and then fix it. And then I'll move on to that document transformer as well.
Yeah. You can do document transformation.
All right. Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you. I still have to look at other assignments as well, but if you guys have any questions, we can discuss. Look at them when I get time. Yeah, it's all good. Nice.
All good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's connect again tomorrow, and if you guys can, I know it's pretty hard finding time, but maybe before weekend, we'll see if you guys can get time and do that web service call. API call, you can practice it. Maybe tomorrow we'll again discuss. We'll try to get an input file and then discuss that. And then on Saturday we'll combine input file, convert a CSV into an XML, and then call the API, including that. Probably Saturday we'll have a longer session, and we'll do a couple of other sub processes as well. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Let's have a good evening. Bye.
Krishna, can I take 1 minute time of yours?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Krishna, I request you to upload the recordings, or I think I'm not able to download what is there in other Google Classroom, or you can send it to me. I'll upload them. I'll upload for them.
Oh, recordings? Yeah,
recordings.
I'll,
Only that is left.
Okay, I'm gonna do it right away. Batch one, I have to go to Drive, right? Drive. You created the folders, right? The folders, Classroom, Batch one. Shall I create a folder for recordings?
Yes.
New folder. Recordings. Create. Let's push.